Welcome to Week 11 college football wide right. Let's go. Our first guest, he covers the left coast like no other. He's a lifetime fan of the Trojans. That's USC. Please welcome to the show, cool Jude Santa Cruz. What's up, Jude?
Hey, what's up, Cass, man? How's everyone doing? Fight on.
Oh, man, there we go. Fight on. That's right. Our next panelist, he's the beast from the East. He's the assistant to the president of the Doug Flutie fan club. His picks are so great, they're almost lead pipe. Please welcome to the show, Lindsay Coyle. Lindsay, what is going on? Can you hear us? We can't hear you at all. I think there's a robot talking. All
Technical
right.
difficulties. Please stand by.
Can you sign language? Can you speak and sign? All right. Let's hop into the comments real quick. Say hi to Pat Paulson. Pat, thanks for joining us. Also,
What's up,
Diabolical 58. John, thanks for joining us.
What's up, John?
We have 2 viewers. Oh, we have 3 viewers right now. 3. That means Jude's watching us on his tablet. And Lindsay, I think, is frozen. Lindsay, blink if you can hear us. Nope, he's frozen. All right. We'll get to him in a second. Big stuff this week, huh? There's a few big games going on this week. Jude, what do you think?
Yeah, man, there's a couple games I'm excited to see. A couple of games from last week that I wish, or a couple of upsets from last week that I wish could have waited till this week. But yeah, there's some games, some things that I need to happen, man.
Nice. We have a new name for Lindsay. He's no longer Lindsay the Greek. He's Lindsay the football mime. He still can't hear us. Can you hear us? Blink if you can hear us.
I'm having volume troubles now.
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh,
we can hear you.
Yeah, well,
we can hear you.
I was hooked up to my Bluetooth things, which are somewhere else. I was still paired up, but now I can barely hear. So hold on, still fixing it.
Much better. All right. So let's talk. We got some Maction going on. Maction? Anybody? Maction? Oh, hey, hold on a second. Before we go any further, we gotta say hi to somebody special in the chat. Anthony GM85. Hope you're feeling better, bud. I know you're a little bit under the weather. You may have that vid right now. I'm not sure if he still does or doesn't, or if he did. But Anthony, we appreciate you joining us and watching, and I hope you're doing better. So,
Yeah, I hope you feel better, Anthony.
all right. So let's get to some action that's going on. We had some games yesterday. If you didn't want to watch the election coverage, and who didn't want to watch that? All right, anyways. If you wanted to watch some college football, there's some action. So action results tonight. Right now, we have Kent State leading Bowling Green late in the fourth quarter, 40-6. Kent State's going to pull home the dub. We have Northern Illinois and Western Michigan in a shootout midway through the fourth quarter. Western Michigan leads 21, Northern Illinois 17. Central Michigan and Buffalo are halfway through the fourth quarter as well. Central Michigan leads 31-27. So we have some close games and we have a blowout. And let's get on to some news of college football today, or this week, college football news. We'll pop over to the news here. And we have our top 4 this week. No surprises who the 3 of the top 4 are in our college football playoff. We have Georgia, which we all agree is probably number 1 after last week's dismantling of Tennessee. We have Ohio State, number 2, who's done pretty well. You know, I would say they're probably a solid number 2. Michigan is number 3, which is, you know, not all that shocking. I think the Michigan-Ohio State game is going to be a really interesting game to watch. And then to round out, we have a member of the top 4, a new member. Clemson's out. So now we have TCU. TCU's got a big test this weekend against Texas. So
The Horned Frogs.
You know, yeah, the Horned Frogs.
Man, something you never think you'd hear me say, but man, hook 'em horns this weekend. Come on, guys.
What are you trying to jinx them?
Man,
all right. Are you there or not?
Yes, now it's working fine. Yeah.
All right. So let's get on to some other news. We have Coastal Carolina's quarterback Grayson McCall is out for the regular season. He's been getting pretty beat up. The offense they run, I wish Hunter was here. He could explain what it is, but it's like a spread veer or split. I don't know. It's got some run element to it. The quarterbacks run the ball a lot. Grayson McCall's not a big quarterback. He's kind of slight in build, and he's gotten kind of beat up a little bit. And then I guess that's all the big news. Other than do we want to talk recruiting? I guess we're going to have to get together at some point also and talk recruiting, because part of college football is recruiting. And big news out of Texas A&M, the number 2 linebacker in the class of 23 decommits from Texas A&M. And if you sift through the tea leaves, if you read the tea leaves correctly, it looks like he's going to be at Texas this weekend to watch Texas and TCU. And then Texas also got another big commit yesterday. So Colton Vasek, he's from Westlake High School in Austin, decommitted from Oklahoma and committed to Texas yesterday. So big stuff going on there. I know we're not a Texas we're college football. We're not a Texas football program. So those are all the headlines I got for today. Anybody else? Y'all got anything? Jude looks like he's getting ready for a mugshot.
No, I just thinking of how am I going to root for Burnt Orange this weekend? Oh man, it's killing me. There was a number, the number one. I read somewhere today too that someone knocked down like a number one recruit, but I'm gonna have to think about that.
We'll get a little more. I think we'll get a little more recruiting heavy once we head towards bowl season. Because remember, National Signing Day is, I believe it's December 15th. So we've definitely got to have like a National Signing Day show. Maybe we'll pre-record it at another time and then have it as a video. And then let's get some other news. So next week, big guest, Heisman Trophy winning big guest next week, I think. Pretty sure. So the way it's going to work is we're going to pre-record it. We're going to interview him during the middle of the day. We're going to pre-record it, and then we'll drop it on the channel. And then we'll live chat on that stream so y'all can watch us, and we'll live chat, interact with the fans. So tell everybody you know. So John,
yeah, we'll set it as a
tell
premiere
everybody you know.
So we can live chat.
Everyone I know is right here.
All right. And then I guess we have some even bigger news on the night of, I don't know how you get any bigger than next week's guest. On the 9th or on the 10th of December, we have our, Wide Right CFB giveaway. We're going to have, the giveaway. We're going to know who the Heisman Trophy winner is. And we're going to have a special guest that's going to join us that night.
Oh, another special guest.
Did he also win the Heisman Trophy?
Huh?
He said,
did he also win the Heisman Trophy?
No, he didn't win the Heisman Trophy.
No.
But he does have a team of his own. I will say that. He does run a team of his own.
Oh, very cool.
So, but we'll let that know. We'll let that cat out of the bag a little bit. Well, I think we're going to say that one for the night of the Heisman Trophy winner. Right, Lindsay?
Sure. I got some breaking news too.
Breaking news. Break it.
Right before the show today, I was talking on the phone with someone, and I was talking with Cass and Lindsay about this last week after the show. But I hit him up, and he confirmed. He's been absent for a few weeks, but he will jump on even though it's stressing him out, he will jump on for the interview with Jason White. He's scared.
You let the cat out of the bag, Jude.
Whoever he is.
Oh shoot! Oh no!
He didn't say Joey's name.
Oh,
I never said Joey Cresciano. Oh shoot! No. Dude, when you got that shock face, I thought that was because of Joey. Oh my god!
We were saying around in these parts, there's 3 forms of communication in this world. It's telephone, there's telegraph, and there's tell Jude.
Oh man!
It's all right. There's only 2 of us watching, and the other two in the chat know exactly who we're talking about.
All right, good. So
Because one of them anchored the deal.
we have to put a gag order on everyone who's watching right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So we're watching syndication, then they'll know. So. All right.
Oh.
Now that Judas ruined the surprise once again. Wow.
Oh, my bad.
Jude, we're going to put you in timeout for a minute.
Oh,
You're back.
oh, the humility. Oh, man.
Put me in the penalty box.
Oh, here, hold on. I'll put you back there for another second.
Yeah.
All right. So Jude didn't announce who our guest is going to be next week. Let's say hi to Schmitty71. Doug, what's going on? How are you doing today, sir? Good to see you. You had a great Instagram the other day. I really enjoyed it.
Dude, Doug always has great Instagrams.
Dude, I would not want to work with that guy. He would make me look so bad. He would show me up every day. But I appreciate watching our show. I mean, it's awesome. So I guess, Lindsay, do you want to go ahead and let's jump into your segment right now?
Sure.
Welcome to Lindsay's Lockdowns. Doo-doo-doo.
The music's getting better every week.
Well, when we're on your stream, Jude and I, we're known to do some singing.
You class it up, I'll say that. So
and
it's
some air guitar. So you never know what you might get tonight.
it is pretty spectacular.
Jude might be on the air drums, and I'll be on the air guitar.
This morning when I was getting ready for work, I started chuckling to myself out loud, thinking about last week's stream. The very end, it was funny.
Well, good
So
news,
let's-
Pat Paul says we're on the phone. He's on the phone right now to ESPN 8. So
Oh, the Ocho.
Oh,
awards and honors at such a young age in our program.
what language is ESPN 8 broadcast in?
What do you speak in a trailer park? Not English. I don't know what it is. It's not English.
No. All right, let's get into it. We've got some contenders, pretenders, upsets, and games to watch. The contenders this week, I've listed 3 heavy hitters. They're going to take their woefully underskilled and underaccomplished opponents to the mat. Ohio State, or the Ohio State. Ranked number 2 is playing unranked Indiana, unfortunately for Indiana. And Ohio State's going to roll over them 38-17. LSU has shown to be an extremely good team this year. They're ranked number 7. They're going to go up against Arkansas, who's also unranked this week, and I think that LSU is going to handily roll over them 31-21. Look for the scoring to be higher in the start of the game and then taper off as maybe LSU cycles some people out. And then Michigan, who's ranked number 3, is going against unranked Nebraska. And I think that Michigan's got a potent enough offense, and Nebraska does not have a stout enough defense to hold them down. Look for a wide spread on this one. Michigan 42, Nebraska 27.
Now remember, you're hurting one of our feelings of one of our loyal members.
What was that high school you were talking about?
When you pick against Nebraska like that.
Oh, I know, but I got to call it.
But today I think he'd understand.
Hey, what was that high school you were talking about earlier? Westlake. All right, Westlake. Lindsay, I'm pretty sure Westlake has a potent enough offense, and Nebraska wouldn't have.
They actually do.
Hey, so y'all want to hear something interesting about Westlake? So a guy I went to high school with is the head coach. Tony Salazar is the head coach at Westlake.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, Westlake's got a heck of a program. If you ever see their facility there, it's pretty impressive. When I was umpiring high school baseball, I used to love to go to that field because I have to go past the football stadium, which has a jumbotron in it. They're no fooling in Texas in high school sports. They are no fooling, and this is bigger than religion down here. It's huge, and Westlake's got a fantastic program.
All right, So let's talk about some contenders. Tell me who's going to drop the ball this week.
Well, we got a whole bunch of losers lined up to play some pretty big names. Washington is going to leave with hat in hand when they play Oregon, who's ranked number 6. Washington comes in at 25, so they're the bottom of the ranked teams. But Oregon's going to handily win 45-28, and unranked Baylor is going to have to play Kansas State, which has been on fire lately. So woe be to them who has to go up against Kansas State, who's ranked number 19. And I think Kansas State's going to win this one. It's going to be fairly close because Baylor's got some potential, but it's not going to be enough this week. Kansas State's going to pull it out 27-24. And unranked Stanford is playing 13-ranked Utah, and Utah's going to win by, I give it a 6-point spread on this one, 34-27.
All right. Do you have any upsets this week, Lindsay? Would you like to tell us who's going to be upset this week?
Well, Alabama's going to be crying some more, I think. And the tale for Alabama this whole year has been their astounding ability to commit penalties and give up tons of yards every game. That has shown no sign of letting off. I think that's going to be par for the course this week when they play Ole Miss. Alabama's ranked 9, Ole Miss is ranked 11, but I think Ole Miss has a more disciplined game in that regard. And as a result, I'm going to look for Ole Miss to upset Alabama and win 31-27.
All right. Jude's liking the lane train there. He's like, choo choo.
100%.
All right, Lindsay. Do you have a game of the week? Do you think there's a matchup maybe somewhere close to us that would be a game of the week?
I do. There was a couple of games I was going back and forth on, wondering what one did I think was going to be more exciting or better played. And the more I thought about,
hold on. So you're not saying that Army versus Troy isn't the game of the week?
It's not. No, not going to be.
Oh, wait. What about Charlotte at Middle Tennessee State?
Yeah, that was on the list, but dropped off at the last minute.
All right. Wait.
Yeah.
One more.
All right.
One more. Texas State at South Alabama.
No, also not. That one didn't make it down. Not that one.
Right. Go ahead. Who is it?
When you look at teams that have a lot of momentum and are on a roll and are fun to watch, Texas Longhorns are among the tops in that category. And I also really enjoy watching TCU this year. Those two teams play each other. Texas coming in ranked 18, and TCU is ranked number 4. It's going to be very well played. I like the discipline that both teams bring to the field. Love their quarterbacks. I think they had a great passing game. I think it's going to be exciting and fairly close, but I'm going to see TCU as pulling this one out at the end, 34-28.
All right, Lindsay, if you were to say that's the game of the week, then we have another game that's not so good. It's the game of the WEAK. Lindsay, give us who this game will be. The game of
the W. This one is going to be game of the week because while one team is doing very well for themselves, another is not. And as a result, I think we're going to have a lopsided and boring game. We're going to watch UCLA manhandle the unranked Arizona, and UCLA, which is ranked number 12, is going to have it all over them and win 42-17.
All right, Lindsay. Now, we've covered some games. Do we have any Heisman hopefuls from you?
My deck has shuffled on the Heisman list a little bit this week. I think that some guys are now rising to the top definitively. Other guys, while they're still on the radar, they're sinking down a little bit on the list. So in my top spots now, I have Stetson Bennett, who has been on fire and a lot of fun to watch and has always, I think, been an outlier this season, but now he has firmly grabbed the top spot in my mind. I like C.J. Cole, and of course, you heard me talk about this guy all year long, Bo Nix, who has been spectacular.
I almost feel like you're the president of the Bo Nix fan club now.
I kind of feel like I am. I think that this kid's got a lot going on for him, just a tremendous amount of talent. I like his disciplined approach, and except for their first game of the year, they've been playing very, very well. He's got a terrific team around him, great coaching. And I like his poise and how well he plays the game. So He's taken over a top spot in my watch. Now I do have a couple of guys.
Just let us know, where does CJ Cole play at?
I think right now he's in my top spot.
Where does CJ Cole play? Where is he? What university does he represent?
Oh, Ohio.
All right. Ohio State or Ohio?
The Ohio State University. The Ohio State University.
Ohio. So when you say Ohio, I'm thinking Bobcat.
I know.
Bobcat.
Yeah.
Frank Solich, Bobcat, all kinds. I think Mickey Tettleton's son used to play at Ohio.
Oh, okay.
I'm digging deep here. I don't know. I know they have green and white uniforms. That's about it.
And on the radar is still Hendon Hooker. He had a tough game, but I think he has probably a higher level of natural talent than most anybody else in the game right now. He's a ton of fun to watch, and his team has to support him better than they have been, especially when they play top-ranked teams, because that is what really brings out his and his team's flaws. So if he can overcome that, I think he still stands a chance. But right now I got to move him more to an outlier position than anything. And then, of course, there's Caleb Williams, who has been talked about all year long, but still, I don't think he's quite risen to the same position as guys like CJ Cole and Stetson Bennett have. So those are my top five. And then as the season goes on, I think we're going to tweak that still a little bit. But I feel really good about both CJ Cole and Stetson Bennett particularly.
All right. And then, was that it? Am I missing anything?
I think that's it.
I have your list in front of me. That's what I was checking. Oh, and see, when you have on the radar, you have Hendon Hooker, Caleb Williams, space, Lindsay.
That's my signature on my email.
Well, you're our Heisman, Lindsay. Our Heisman.
Oh, geez. Thanks. Shucks.
And he goes, Pat Paulson says that he thought Jude was the president of the Stevie Nicks fan club. You big fan of Stevie Nicks there, Jude? You like some Rhiannon?
Yeah, I suppose.
Pat Paulson also says he has Stanford by 3. And Doug said that was a pretty conservative score, Lindsay.
Well,
for your Nebraska-Michigan game.
Who's the kid from Ohio State?
CJ Cole.
What position does he play?
I don't know.
Quarterback?
No, that's
That's not CJ Stroud?
that's CJ Stroud. You got the name wrong.
Wow. Did I type that name wrong? Holy Nikes.
Oh, I was just
Lindsay.
I thought that's who you were talking about. I was just kidding. I was like, wait a second. I'm like, this is like total sleeper. Who?
I'm like, man, who the hell is CJ Cole? I know.
I don't know. I don't know who CJ Cole is. I'm sure he's a nice guy, whoever he is. Holy, I don't know.
I was playing along. We all know who.
I must have been either reading or thinking one thing as I'm typing. That's the only thing I can.
You were listening to Paula Cole.
Dude,
Thinking
you
about
you
CJ
had
Stroud.
me second guessing myself. I'm thinking, man, I'm all.
Man, I don't know.
Is it Cole?
It's been one of those weeks. I was listening to some Fleetwood Mac music, and Stevie Nicks had me all flustered.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Rhiannon is my go-to
It is
Fleetwood Mac
it?
song. No, it's
Not Landslide.
No, I that's like my dad listens to that CD like the whole way down to the coast. You're just like, oh. If I could open the door right now, I would jump out.
Meow, 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 meow.
Hold on. Only Jude and I are allowed to.
You guys are the musicians of the group. I get it. I'll expect you.
I would like.
I will
to say I'm
expect you
air
to duet
guitar-
Rhiannon later on in the night.
All right. I would like to say I'm like air guitar world champion, but there's really air guitar world championships, and I ain't it.
Whew.
All right. Let's take a little time out real quick. We're about 24 minutes into this program. We're going to hop over. We've already talked about our 500-ish subscriber giveaway. I checked the subs this morning, or actually right before I came on. We're at 31 right now, so we're getting there. We only have 469 more to go. So
Knocking on the door.
big deal. No big deal. Knocking on the door. Yeah, we're knocking on the door that goes to the door that goes to another door, and then you meet the guy that actually lets you know where the other door is. So, all right. Anyways, I digress. So we're gonna have our 500-ish subscriber giveaway. What you're gonna win is 2 custom Wide Right CFB shirts. They're not gonna be as cool as my Coil Tool shirt I'm wearing right now, but they will be pretty cool. You're also gonna win a football autograph by almost all of the Wide Right CFB members. You're also going to win a $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings and a $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings. So you'll win 2 gift cards to Buffalo Wild Wings, 2 awesome T-shirts, and a football. So you can throw it at your neighbor, or you can kick down the street, or you can take it with you to Buffalo Wild Wings and get your picture taken with one of your servers. You just never know. It's Wide Right CFB's giveaway to you. And then that's going to happen on the night of the Heisman. That's December 10th. And what we're gonna have a video that's gonna come out the morning of. You gotta watch that video. You gotta be a subscriber, and you have to like, comment on that video as well. Then what we'll do is we'll come on live after the Heisman Trophy winner is announced. We're gonna go and put it on our little computer. We're gonna formulate a winner, and bada bing, we'll have a winner displayed. That winner will contact us. We'll send them their stuff, and we'll all have a good time. And we're gonna have special guests. Special guest on December 10th. Very special. Jude doesn't know who it is. We're not going to tell him yet because. So, all right. Let's see. Uh-oh. I just thought Jude may have been in an earthquake or something. He disappeared too fast.
They sneak up on you out there in California.
So let's get back into some football. You got a few more minutes for us, Lindsay?
I have about 5 more minutes.
All right. Let's hop into our salute to the service academies. Now, this weekend's a big weekend. And the reason it's a big weekend is we're going to get to watch the Merchant Marine Academy and take on the Coast Guard Academy on Saturday, and it's going to be on ESPN3. Now, I know that everybody doesn't have ESPN3, but it's a whole lot easier to find ESPN3 than it is to go and look on their broadcast. So it's a noon kickoff Eastern time, so it means it's going to be 11 a.m. here. It's going to be on ESPN3. I think they're going to have coverage to start about 10:30. We're going to hop on at some point during that game. Maybe not for the whole game, but we're going to at least hop on and give our thoughts on the game. I know Jude's going to wake up at like 4 in the morning so he can join us. Lindsay's going to be doing something so he can join us. We're even going to try to get Joey Preciado on the show if he's awake yet. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. And then, of course, Hunter will be there. So we got a big weekend for our Salute to Service Academies. We have the Merchant Marine Academy. They're taking on the Coast Guard Academy. So that's a big deal. These guys don't get on national TV a whole lot, so we're really excited about getting to watch this game. Then we have another big matchup at 11 a.m. on ABC. And now this isn't – I'm not going to count them out because you can never count out the Naval Academy. Can never count them out. They've always got a trick up their sleeve. The Naval Academy is hosting number 20 Notre Dame, who's off a massive beatdown of Clemson. So we can't take that law of transitive properties and say because Clemson is the number 5 team that Navy's going to get blown out. Navy may get blown out, but they may not. You know, they always show up to play. Now, this game's going to happen at the M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, which is close to the home of the Naval Academy. And they're going to be hosting the Fighting Irish. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Navy to win. No, I'm not. But I'm going to cheer for them. Later in the day, we're going to have – oh, I just lost my place here. All right. Let me just a second. Later in the day, we're going to have Army taking on – wait a second. Let it populate. I hate it when I do this myself. We're going to have Army traveling to Alabama to take on Troy. Now, they're going to be playing at Troy, Alabama, and that's, you know, like the little brother of of Alabama. This game's going to be on the NFL Network, so you can watch this game. It'll be easy to see. It's at 2:30 kick Central Time, so depending on where you live, it'll be corresponding. I'm Central Time, so if you're wherever, you can figure it out. Also at 2:30, we have New Mexico traveling to Falcon Stadium in Colorado to take on Air Force Academy. Now, Air Force Academy has wrapped up the Commander-in-Chief Trophy. They are the champions for the 2022 season, so congratulations to them. But after this weekend's Salute to Service games, we have one more big game, and for our house, it's a big deal too. It's Army versus Navy, and it's always the big game. We always like to watch it as family. It's a big deal for us, and then hopefully we have some news to go along with that game as well. We may have an announcement, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. There's some stuff in the works on that one as well. So those are our Salute to Service games. We're definitely going to be on Saturday morning to cheer on both the Merchant Marine Academy and the Coast Guard Academy in their national TV debut this season. I'm excited for them. I don't know how the game's going to go. I'm going to pick Merchant Marine Academy. I think they're a little bit better than the Coast Guard Academy is right now. So that's where I sit. Jude and Lindsay, where do you sit on the service games?
Jude, take it.
I'm going to be up, and I'll try absolutely join that broadcast for the Coast Guard and the Merchant Marines. That'll be fun. I'm not too familiar with either team to make a educated guess, but going off of the law of transitive property. Oh no, wait, they both lost to Catholic, so I don't know. let's hope for a fun game. The Army in Troy. Interesting fact. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but Troy does put out NFL caliber talent because the greatest defensive end / linebacker in Dallas Cowboy history went to Troy. If I'm not correct, didn't DeMarcus Ware come out of Troy?
That is correct.
I think that's true. So yeah, they do put out NFL caliber athletes from time to time. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take Troy, especially since it's in Alabama, and Air Force. And so would you say San Jose State?
New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico State.
No. You're putting words in my mouth. New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico. Okay. Since Air Force is won the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, I think they're going to have all kinds of momentum, knowing that they, wrapped that up last week. They're going to go ahead and take it out, and whoop up on New Mexico. And
would you like to know New Mexico's record real quick?
New Mexico, sure.
All right, I'm going to pull it up real quick. Keep talking. I'll give it to you in just a second.
And I think the last game we talked about was Navy going up against
Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, Notre Dame. That's a rivalry game beyond whether people know that or not. They play every single year. Navy, sometimes they get up for it and they give them a pretty good game, but unfortunately, I don't think that'll happen this year. I think Notre Dame will probably win by about 3 touchdowns.
300 touchdowns. Have you watched Navy? They are not. The defense is decent, right? But the problem is they play 52 minutes of the game. So
yeah,
the offense just can't do anything right now. All right. For anybody that's interested in knowing, New Mexico is 2-7 overall, and they're number 6 in their conference in the Mountain West. So, Air Force is going to be destroying New Mexico. Like target practice, bombing runs, I don't know, whatever, air raid. They're going to destroy New Mexico. I would say they'll win by 30.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Big numbers. And then next year, hopefully, the Space Force will have a team. So we'll have another service academy to cheer for.
That would be the first zero-gravity football game ever played.
No, that's not true. I've seen some pretty bad games.
All right, guys, I got to run.
All right, Lindsay, we appreciate you joining us. We're going to see you Saturday.
Always my pleasure.
Probably a couple times on Saturday, I would suspect. Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a good time. So I just think it's weird that we're having an easier time getting a former Heisman Trophy winner on the channel than Joey Preciado.
Hey, you know what? That just tells you the caliber of person that Joey is.
He really is. Has Joey ever won the Heisman? I don't think so.
Maybe in this
He's won the
house he did.
Stressman.
The Stressman Award.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right, Lindsay. We'll talk to you.
All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to you all on Saturday.
All right.
Yes, sir.
See you, Lindsay. Have a good week.
All right, have a good one.
All right. Bye. And he's gone. All right, Jude. I want to hear what you think. Let's get to Jude's cool takes. Now, before we get into Jude's takes, I just want to let y'all know Hunter's probably not going to be on the stream tonight. Normally, he takes a break during the evening and joins us. He's not going to have that tonight. They're short-staffed at work, so he's having to kind of pick up the extra workload. So he didn't think he was going to be able to make it. He was going to try. If he makes it, he makes it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. You can see him twice on Saturday. I'll just say that. That's my gift to you.
That's awesome.
So Pat says that he says that Joey once received the Heimlich maneuver. So all right, Jude. Let's talk some football, man. It's just me
Sounds
and you.
good.
This is gonna be fun. All right, who are your pretenders this week? Who you got? That's pretenders. Who do you think is just gonna drop the ball this week?
Oh man, I'm hoping. Now this is all now based on we're deep into the college football season, so my pretenders are going to be, my contenders and pretenders are all going to be picked looking forward based on what I think needs to happen for the
USC
Trojans,
to get into CFP.
for the Trojans to make. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love
so
it. This is what makes it so much fun.
I'm hoping my first pretender, because even though they have 2 losses, I think it's a travesty that they're put in front of USC. But I'm hoping that the Suey Hogs can come in and the Razorbacks can beat the Tigers from LSU. And as tough as that's going to be, I think they have it in them. It's going to be a dogfight, a typical SEC game, and 21-20. Arkansas, this time, Brian Kelly's going to go for 2, and they're not going to get it. And Arkansas wins that game.
That pick takes balls, Jude. Big steel ones.
Another pretender. Like I said, excuse me. I am at the gym. There's kids running around. My second pretender, man, and this one is even harder. But my second pretender is we spoke of them earlier. You know, it's them horned frogs out of Dallas, Texas, or Dallas Fort Worth area. And I think, man, I've been talking big about the Longhorns all year, and I think it's going to pay off this week when Hook 'em Horns comes through, man. You know, hopefully they'll have Vince Young and who else? I can't think of what was that running back from the 80s? He went to the Oilers. What was that dude's name?
From the 70s, Earl Campbell.
Earl Campbell, yeah, Earl Campbell. I hope all those guys are on the sidelines, you know, getting them Longhorns up, and I hope that the Longhorns take out the pretending Texas Christian Horned Frogs. Now, my contenders, very easy to say. I would not want to be Colorado this Friday night because I think USC is going to run all over them, throw all over them to be exact. Yep, that's right. Fight on. Score 55-38. You know, because we can't really stop anybody, but we can sure score on them. My other contender for the week is going to be, now this one hurts because as much as I want them to win and I think they're going to win, this is a contender / pretender. Ole Miss is a contender. Alabama's a pretender. Alabama's going to get dealt their 3rd loss of the season. And as great as that is, because it makes Alabama a no shot at passing USC later in the season, if this happens, I can almost guarantee you that Ole Miss will pass us in next week's ranking. So even if we move up a spot, you know, they're going to move up 4. So that I don't know. but I'm going to take Ole Miss to beat Alabama. And like Lindsay said, I think it's going to be a great game, and I'll even go with his score, 31-28. My Heisman Trophy contenders, even I've taken Caleb Williams off the last few weeks, but after last week with Hendon Hooker really being brought back down, gravity hit for him, and same thing with CJ Cole. He had a really, really, really pedestrian game. So I think that with 28 touchdowns and 1 interception, being back in the playoff picture, top 10, I think Caleb Williams does have a shot to get back to New York or get to New York. My game of the week is going to be Alabama and Ole Miss, and that's going to be a slug 'em out game. My game of the week, WAK. Man, I hadn't really put too much thought into that, but why not say? Unfortunately, I'll have to get back. I'll have to think about that one a little bit. If we get back to it, we get back to it. I didn't put too much thought into a game of the week. I'm sorry, man, but that's pretty much my thoughts. Those are kind of my thoughts for the week.
All right. So let's just we'll run through these a little bit more in depth. On Friday night, we definitely have Jude's USC Trojans hosting those Buffaloes from Colorado. Are they gonna let Ralphie on the field there at the Coliseum, Jude?
I doubt it.
No to Ralphie. All right. Well, I think that USC is gonna be running wild on Colorado, or throwing wild. I look at a large margin. A large margin, 40 plus. I think that's what they'll win by. I think they'll be scoring too much. I don't think Colorado's all that great. So we're only going to talk about ranked matchups right now, or ranked teams. So we're just going to kind of scatter bomb the top 25. Number 2, Ohio State's hosting Indiana. I think Ohio State wins this game by a ton. I think Indiana's just bad enough to make Ohio State look great. What are your thoughts on that one, Jude?
Agreed. That Indiana's. They might hang in there for the first half, but it'll get ugly in the second half.
All right. A game that we probably should talk about that nobody's talking about is Missouri traveling to Knoxville to take on Tennessee. Now, Tennessee's ranked 5th now, but is this a hangover game for them? Or are they going to look ultra suspect on Saturday after the big loss to Georgia? That's a concern that I would have. Can their coach get them up for the game?
He better. I mean, if he wants to be an SEC player, he's going to have to get used to tough losses, because I think we talked about it recently. There's not going to be undefeated teams coming out of the SEC. Conference is just too hard. There's too much parity. So if he wants to earn his paycheck, he better have one of them Rudy speeches, or one of them. I want them to forever remember the night they played the Titans, one of them speeches going, because they can't have a hangover, or they'll be right now. They're still in contention for a playoff spot. They even if they win by 1 touchdown or less, they're probably out of it. The 2 teams will probably pass them.
Yep. All right, we have LSU traveling to Fayetteville, or as I like to call it, Fayette Dom, to take on the Razorbacks. Now, you need LSU to lose this game. I don't know that LSU is going to lose this game, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch. But I watched Arkansas struggle last week and lose to Liberty. So I'm going to say that LSU is better than Liberty. But we'll see what happens. All right, we have Notre Dame traveling to Maryland to take on Navy. I think Notre Dame wins by a sizable margin. I just don't think Navy's got enough in the arsenal to take on Notre Dame right now.
I agree.
We have Purdue traveling to Illinois to Champaign to take on Illinois. Illinois is ranked 21. I don't see Illinois losing this game, but anything's possible. So
I'd like to see Illinois win this game, and next week I believe they play Michigan, and I'm hoping that they can get some momentum going and It's either Michigan or Ohio State. Because like I told you, I'm looking at all scenarios, man. We need help, and I'll take it from any ranked or unranked opponent playing teams in front of SC right now.
Yep. And then we have Vanderbilt traveling to number 24 Kentucky. They're going to take on the Wildcats in Lexington. I think Kentucky kind of bounces back and they get a much-needed win against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's not a pushover by any stretch of the imagination, but they're not going to beat Kentucky. I don't see any scenario where Vanderbilt's able to beat Kentucky.
No, just wrong time of the year for them to play them. Kentucky's, like you said, they're in dire need of a win right now, and I think they're going to get it.
Then we have to travel a little bit further down, and we have Nebraska traveling to number 3 Michigan in Ann Arbor. I think Michigan wins this game by a lot. I don't think it's close. I'd like to say so, but I think Nebraska's starting quarterbacks out, and it looks like they're probably ready for the new coach to be kind of named and go from there. So that's where I'm at on that one. What do you think on that one, Jude?
Yeah, Nebraska, hopefully the new coach they hire will be able to do for them what everyone thought Scott Frost would be able to do, turn them back around. I was pulling for Scott Frost, man. I honestly was. I like it when you hear those stories about the hometown hero coming back.
The only coach that I'll be real honest with you, the only 2 coaches that I would never, ever cheer for would be Urban Meyer, because I think Urban Meyer is a scumbag. Not because he didn't coach at Texas, because I was glad that he didn't go to Texas. I just don't like Urban Meyer. I don't think he's a good person. That's neither here nor there. And Butch Jones. I don't like Butch Jones. I think Butch Jones gets a bad look to college football. I think he's an asshole. I think it's just the way it is. I know that we're a family-friendly program, but that's my thoughts on Butch Jones. And if he were to be here right in front of me, I'd say it to his face. So he's got an asshole haircut, and he's got an asshole personality. So there you go. Butch Jones, if you're watching, there you go. All right, Jude. Let's move on. We have number 9 Alabama taking on Ole Miss. You need these teams to tie. I mean, they got to look either really bad or not. They can't win by a lot. You need some help on this one. And I don't see any way that Alabama's going to lose this game. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be like a 14-10 game. I don't think there's a lot of points scored on this one. I think Alabama comes out on the other end, but hopefully it's just ugly enough to sneak USC by Alabama. And then we have number 10, Clemson hosting Louisville. And Louisville's been up and down. I know their coach is on the hot seat, but, he's had some big wins. Clemson's coming off a loss. I don't know who's going to start at quarterback. They didn't look very good on offense last week. I think it cost them a lot. I think they're probably going to win this game, but it's going to be ugly. I'd look for another low-scoring affair, 21-17 Clemson. Drew, what are your thoughts on Clemson and Louisville?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Clemson, it seems like however I deem them, whether it be great, then they play horrible. When I say that they're horrible, they play great. So, if I say I have no idea how they're going to play, they're probably going to play their mediocre game. But I Louisville. Where'd you say it was? At Louisville?
No, they're at Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson probably walks away with like a 24-17 win, 24-14, something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be low scoring and ugly.
Yeah.
I don't know. There could be weather, too. Let's check the weather. Let's see what the weather is in Clemson this weekend. This might play into the favor of one team or the other. Go to my trusty, dusty weather app here. Let's see what it says. Clemson, South Carolina. Ooh, 100% chance of rain on Friday. Nice and sunny, partly cloudy on Saturday. So it looks like 69 for the high. It could be soggy field. Could be. So we'll just have to see. But nice, decent. It's actually going to be warmer than South Carolina on Saturday, and it's going to be here. I think the weather for me. It's going to be 58 for the high on Saturday. So That never happens in November. We never get cold weather in November. Usually it's 85. Tomorrow's going to be 81. And then Saturday will be 58. All right. Moving on, we have where are we at? Maryland traveling to Happy Valley to take on Penn State. I don't like Penn State right now. I don't know what's going on with them. But every time I count Penn State out, they come through with a big win. So I'm going to go ahead and say Penn State wins this game. It's an afternoon game, so it's not. I don't think we're going to get that nighttime feel. I have Penn State winning 21-14 versus Maryland. Low scoring affair though. Low scoring. What do you have? On this one?
Yeah, Penn State, if I'm correct, their only two losses were to like the number 2 and 3 teams in the country. They got smoked by one and hung tough with the other. So, yeah, Maryland in Happy Valley, I think Penn State wins 28-10.
All right, so now we have Lindsay's Boston College Eagles traveling to North Carolina to take on number 16 NC State. I don't see Boston College winning. They're not good. This game could get ugly. I know NC State's offense isn't great, but it's going to be good enough to beat Boston College by a sizable margin. I'll say 31-10. It'll be a 3-touchdown spread.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Then we go into a sleeper game of the week. An absolute sleeper. A game that nobody else is talking about. And this will be our group of 5. We have the Power 5, which are all the Power 5 conferences. But our group of 5 game of the week. And that's UCF, number 22 UCF, led by Gus Malzahn, traveling to New Orleans to take on number 17 Tulane, the one-loss Tulane team at this time of the season. Tulane's playing for some big stuff here. They're trying to get into a New Year's Six bowl game.
Yep.
That's a big deal. For a school that is in New Orleans, that is a afterthought, is playing to try to get into a New Year's Six bowl game. So I look at this game, and I know Tulane's got a lot of good defense. They also have a lot of good offense. I think Tulane wins this game by 10 points. So I'm going to go with Tulane 42, UCF 32. A lot of points are going to be scored in this game, though. Gus Malzahn's an innovator of offense, right? He's a true innovator of offense. Tulane's a great team. I think UCF's going to produce enough points to be competitive in this game, but not enough to win.
Yeah, I can agree with that. 38-28, 42-32, 10-point spread. Yeah, I'll roll with that, Cash.
All right. Next, we have number 1 Georgia. This is a night game, traveling to Starkville, Mississippi, to take on Mississippi State. Now, man, you want it as a college football fan. This would absolutely rock the boat if Georgia were to drop a game to Mississippi State. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I don't think so. I think Georgia knows how to win. They look like a real team that knows how to make real wins. You know what I mean? Like they can win anytime, anywhere, anyway. And I have Georgia winning this game by 10 points. I don't think it's going to be a runaway. I think it's going to be closer to what they want, but Georgia's able to suffocate Mississippi State's offense with their great defense, and they are able to run the ball, and Stetson Bennett's going to make it a lot easier for them to do it. So I'll take Georgia by 10.
What's the spread, do you know?
I don't know. Give me a minute. I'll look it up. You want to start talking about Washington and Oregon while I look this up?
Yeah. Well, I am going to go with Georgia to win, but I'm going to say it's going to be by less than 10 points. Washington and Oregon. Now, Washington had high hopes at the beginning of the year, and then everybody wrote them off with a couple of early season ugly losses. But they've bounced back. They're 7-2 right now. Oregon's 8-1, but Washington is not a pushover. I can see that game going down to last possession, and not because I need or want Oregon to lose, because that game doesn't really matter to me. Because I'd actually prefer for Oregon to win, because that way, if we play them in the Pac-12 title game, we're beating a higher ranked team. So I'll say on that game, I'm not going to pick a winner. Easy, sorry about the noise, but on that game, I'm not going to pick a winner. I'm just going to say team with the ball last wins.
Okay, I'll say it. The team that scores the most points wins the game. All right, give me just a second. Every time I hit Georgia, I get election results. Not what I'm looking for.
Oh, they're going to a runoff.
Yep. I'm taking Herschel Walker in that race.
That's right.
Bet he can still get us 5 hard yards.
Dude, that dude is an athlete, man. He was fighting the UFC at 50 years old, or almost 50.
Yeah. No, I mean that guy is nuts. I mean, he's not nuts, but he's great. Peak physical condition. All right, here we go. Georgia, Mississippi State point spread. Let's go Dawn of the Dog. They may give us some information here that we need to know. I don't have the Vegas spread line in front of me. Georgia does lead the series, 19 wins to only 6 defeats. And they are 16.5-point favorites.
I'll take Mississippi State with the points.
Yeah, so you're going to bet the under on this one. You're going to get Georgia will get the outright win, but Mississippi State's going to cover the spread.
Triple the spread. Absolutely.
All right, for us gambling non-aficionados, this guy right here, much better than this guy right here. So we're going to go with that. And let's see here. We're going to go down to that semi-important game here in a second. But let's talk about Kansas State at Baylor. You know, Baylor still has a good defense. They're not exactly garbage. The offense and the team hasn't gone 100% the way they wanted it, but they're not a bad team. And Kansas State, they got beat down at home by Texas. That wasn't, I know they made a late run or they made a second half run. They scored some points, but they took a beating by Texas. That was the world-class beating. And Baylor can do exactly what Texas could do. They can run the ball and play good defense. So this is going to be a tight game. I'm going to say it's going to be under a 7-point victory for the Kansas State Wildcats, but it's going to be hard earned. Deuce Vaughn's going to be a busy guy.
Yeah, Kansas State, man, they are playing good football. I know Baylor does have a strong defense. Oh, man. I was actually surprised with the outcome with Kansas State last week. I thought Texas was going to get run over, but I'm going to take Kansas State 31, Baylor 28. Close game.
All right. On to I guess we're all going to call it our game of the week. Well, you didn't call it your game of the week. I'll say it's my game of the week. It's Texas hosting number 4 TCU. I think TCU may be without their wide receiver, may not. I'm not sure how it's going to play out. The number 1, I don't know if he's a player or not. Now, TCU's defense is not good. They are not good by a lot. And the one thing they don't do well is they don't stop the run well. And Texas, the one thing they do well is they run the ball really well. I look for – that's the Horned Frogs. You got to go – this is the Longhorns, dude. Come on. There you go. All right. So – I think what's going to happen is I think Texas – it is going to be a dogfight. Now, TCU's got a tremendous, great offense. They have a great offensive coach. The guy is an offensive genius. I have a lot of respect for Sonny Dykes. The guy has wanted one job in the nation, a job that a lot of people wouldn't want, and that's the Texas Tech job. And he's been denied this job several times. And he's taken a better job, in my opinion, in TCU compared to Texas Tech. And he's made them a national championship hopeful right now, right? They still have to get through the meat of their schedule. And if they're able to beat Texas this weekend and they're able to win the Big 12 championship, then, they're going to definitely, an undefeated TCU team is going to get into the CFP. It's the way it is. Big 12 is a Power 5 conference, an undefeated champion. It's almost a shoo-in into the deal. Whether or not they're going to win the national championship, I don't know. But if they were able to beat Texas and then go on and win the Big 12 championship, I would say they would be the perennial contenders. Now, I'm going to lean the other way. I'm going to say that Texas has the running game and the defense to slow TCU down enough to beat them. And special teams, I think, is going to be a huge factor. Texas is one of the best special teams in the nation. We'll have to see how that works out. But if you're going to ask me today, I'm going to go Texas 42, TCU 38. And then it's going to be an absolute shootout. So that's my pick. Jude, what's yours on your pick on this one?
I'm not going to disagree with you. The TCU can't stop the run. Texas can run the ball. And TCU is a good team. They're going to put points on the board. So, yeah, 42-38, 38-35. It's going to be a close game.
All right.
But I'm going to go with the Horns on this one.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll bring them good luck. All right, let's go to another game. This could be a night game, and this has some interesting stuff in there. Now, I know we don't talk a lot of point spreads and lines and over and unders and stuff like that, but I think we need to on this game. I have a feeling about this game. So we're going to travel down. Number 15, North Carolina is going to travel to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, to take on a Wake Forest team that's kind of lost their way. You know, they were hot at the beginning of the season. Now they're kind of dwindling down just a smidge. Sam Hartman's Heisman campaign is over, but that doesn't mean their season's over. Now, we look at this game and we know two things about this game. We know Wake Forest can score a lot of points, and North Carolina has almost no defense. And with that said, North Carolina has Drake May, who is like a human highlight reel. I don't know if you've gotten to watch any of his football lately, Jude, or not. But the guy just all he does is make plays, right? I mean, he's just a human highlight machine. And like Hunter said, I think he'll be a Heisman Trophy winner one day, if not this year. You know, you never know. If they beat Wake Forest and he's got 600 total yards of offense, he's there. You know, he's on his way to New York. Now, he plays at North Carolina, so you just never know. But when we talk about point spreads, the spread is Wake Forest is a 3.5-point favorite versus an 8-1 North Carolina team. Now, the over-under, the total points for this game is 77 points. I'm going to pick the over. The only way I wouldn't pick the over is if I go and I scroll to my weather app and I see rain. If I don't see any rain in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, I'm saying over. And I think you should say over too. Now, Jude, let me get your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, we have to see what the weather's going to be like, but man, I actually think Wake Forest, their offense is pretty spectacular, man. And yeah, they've lost their way a little bit. And North Carolina, if I'm not correct, didn't they give up like 60 points to Appalachian State or something like that? But I'm going to
50 in the 50s.
Oh, 50s. I'm going to take Wake Forest 48, North Carolina 42.
So you're going over. I like it.
Yeah,
I'm going to go over too. The weather is going to be 68 degrees and partly cloudy. This is going to be a night game. I don't know what Wake Forest's fans are going to do. I watch their games. I'm not a big follow, so I don't know what the night environment is. Like, if I told you, like, you've got to go to LSU and play a night game, you're like, oh, man, that's going to be a rough crowd. That's like one of the hardest places in America to play. Is Winston-Salem, North Carolina going to be the same? Are we going to get that same feel out of, Wake Forest, their fan base? I don't know. I'm going to say they're going to show up, but, how busy is Truthsfield going to be, right? Are they going to be, jumping up and down, hollering, smashing chairs, whatnot? I don't know. But I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take North Carolina and the over because North Carolina's got another Heisman hopeful as opposed to Sam Hartman. They have Drake May. I think it's going to be a shootout. It'll be somewhere in the neighborhood, like Jude said, 48-42, somewhere like that. It's going to be a lot of points. So the over-under 77. We're going to both take the over. So, all right. And we're going to travel down to – well, actually, we're going to travel up to New York, and Syracuse is going to host number 23 Florida State. I know Florida State had some tough losses earlier this season, but nobody's been talking about Florida State. They're a solid team. They play solid football. I wouldn't want to play them. I know they're not the greatest team out there, but they're not awful. So I think Florida State travels to the Carrier Dome. It's also a night game, but they're used to playing in night environments. I think they travel to the Carrier Dome. They win this game 21-17. Syracuse is in a pushover. Any Dino Babers team is always going to play good defense. They're going to run the football. It's going to be a close game. Jordan Travis is the difference in this game. I pick at Florida State. Jude, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I'll agree with you, man. That sounds about like you pretty much got that one covered. I didn't do too much research on that game.
All right. We have Stanford traveling to Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City to take on the Utes from Utah. Now, as long as Cam Rising's healthy, I'm taking Utah every day of the week and twice on Saturday. Because Stanford, although they play good defense and they're able to move the ball, and if they're just going to get behind so fast, they're going to be taken out of their game plan. Utah can put points. They score in bunches. You know what I mean? Football's a momentum sport, and Utah is able to grasp momentum. Kyle Whittingham has a way of just going and putting his foot on the accelerator and finding a way for his team to score points, whether it be through special teams turnovers, defensive turnovers, offensive production. Stanford doesn't have many misses in the first couple drives. They have to score right away or they're going to be so far behind that they're going to have to change their game plan, and they're going to go from being able to do a ball control offense where they're able to run and pass and control the clock to hey, we got to start trying to match scores with them, and at that point they'll get put away, and it'll get ugly quick. So that's a game to watch. Cam Rising plays well. Stanford's going to struggle. If Utah comes out and stumbles, it could be a shootout late into the fourth quarter, and I still think Utah wins, but I'm going to pick Utah by 3 scores. So it could be 17. They could win by 17-21. I wouldn't be surprised, but Stanford, it just depends on how the game plays. And I'll check and see what weather is going to be in this game, because weather could be a factor in this game. We're starting to get into the cooler months. You never know what Salt Lake City looks like. And you got to also remember that it's at altitude. So right now they're having a mixture of rain and snow. It's going to be clear through the weekend, but it's going to be chilly. And, Stanford, we'll see how they play at altitude. So I don't know. Palo Alto could be at altitude too. I have no idea. I'm not from California. I'll let Jude answer that question for me.
Man, Stanford doesn't stand a chance this weekend, man. I don't care if Cam Rising's playing or not, dude. They're getting smoked.
All right, I like Jude's confidence. We're going to go with that. All right, and finally, our last top 25 team in action is the UCLA Bruins. They're going to take on the Wildcats from Arizona. They're playing at the Rose Bowl, which from TV looks great. I know I'm sitting next to a guy right now that's probably been to the Rose Bowl and seen a few games there. He could probably tell you that it's an awesome place to be.
Yeah, very cool place to watch a football game.
I say that UCLA is probably going to win this game by a lot. I don't think Arizona's very good. And it's a 9:30 game, so we're going to get to watch it at kickoff. And I'm going to enjoy watching it because the Rose Bowl is a place I really love to watch games being played. And for just some odd reason. No reason in particular. No, really, it's like one of the great college venues. I mean, like the Cotton Bowl in Dallas is a great college venue. Great place to see a game from. It's not really that great of a stadium. It's just the atmosphere thing. The Rose Bowl in Pasadena, it's on my wish list. Something I want to go do in my lifetime. Go see. That'd be a great game.
Dude, let me know when you come down, dude. We will go have a blast. The Rose Bowl, it's so cool because the Rose Bowl, their parking lot is a golf course. So everyone pulls up, and I mean, it's just you know what a golf is, just all kinds of green grass. People tailgate. They bring out speakers and barbecue and smoke. Oh, dude, it's just a blast. We get there at about 6 o'clock in the morning for 7 o'clock in the evening game.
I'd already had 2 naps and puked 4 times by the time we'd have been in the game.
Pretty much, but it's fun.
Well, I'm gonna have to put that on there. And then obviously South Bend, I'd love to go see a game at Notre Dame. Another one at the Big House in Michigan. I think these are just iconic places. Definitely, I want to go see a LSU home game in Death Valley. more than anything, I'm not just a fan of any one particular team. I do have the team I cheer for, but I am a fan of college football. College football environments mean so much. And I think that's what separates the college game from the pro game. You get that environment that you just don't get at a pro game. Like I know Bills fans are notorious for all the crazy stunts they pull, but the college game has just that raw feel to it, that raw emotion to it. So I like
I've
that.
seen it. I've actually seen a game in South Bend. Matt Leinert's sophomore year was Reggie Bush and Landale Wright's freshman year. Me and there were 17 of us. Now we all traveled together, but our tickets were we were all in charge of our own tickets. But we all got tickets. But the traveling and everything we did together, the hotel and the partying in Chicago for 2 nights before we went to South Bend on Saturday morning, man, it was a blast, dude. It was a fun game, fun weekend.
All right, well, that covers top 25. We've pretty much covered everything. There's a few games here and there. I mean, Texas A&M looks like they could probably go pick up a win this weekend against Auburn. Did you know that the Auburn interim coach is Cadillac Williams?
Yes, I did. Carnell Cadillac Williams.
That guy is just one of the all-time great college football players. Just love the energy that he brings to the game. It'll be interesting to see who they hire, but I think that guy needs to be around that program. Kansas is going to Lubbock to take on Texas Tech. Kansas gets a big win here. They get back into the top 25. They'll be back-to-back weeks of good wins. We have Miami at Georgia Tech. I'm actually picking Georgia Tech to win this by a sizable amount, not just a few points. Iowa State at Oklahoma State. If Spencer Sanders isn't playing, I don't think Oklahoma State stands a chance, even at home. And that's pretty much all.
Yeah, we got through it.
All the notable games. Exciting stuff. I'm excited to watch some college football with you on Saturday morning. I think it's going to be fun.
That is going to be fun. I look forward to that.
I think we're going to be in for a treat. And I suggest everybody try to find a way to watch Coast Guard Academy and the Merchant Marine Academy play this game. It's something of note, and it's something, like football they're not playing to go to the NFL, playing for the love of the game, which is what we appreciate. So we're going to be joining in. I will, we'll figure out when to live stream. Jude and Lindsay and I will kind of sit down and put our heads together and figure it out. And like I said, next week, Jude already let the cat out of the bag. Heisman Trophy winner is going to be on this program. So you gotta stay to know who we're talking about. And you can go back in the stream and watch the last hour and 12 minutes and 27 seconds. You'll be able to figure it out. But you got to watch the whole thing to find it. Easter egg. We're going to call it the Easter egg. So, find that moment in there, and then you'll know who we're talking about. And then on December 10th, the night of the Heisman read, we're going to have a special guest. Special guest is going to join us. I think he's a big guy. Everybody knows who this person is. There's not a person on planet Earth that doesn't know who this guy is. So,
oh wow.
So we'll just have to leave a surprise. So, Jude, I'm gonna let you bring it on home. Go ahead and give us.
Hey, everybody! Thanks for watching. Cass, thanks for hosting the live stream. And this year, the countdown from 3, 2, 1 order of importance. This team is usually not number 3, and the team that's number 1 is definitely not number 1. But in honor of Hunter, number 3. Fight on. Number 2, Suey. And number 1, man, hook 'em horns.
That's great. All right. I want to thank everybody that's been in the chat tonight. I got to thank our good friends, Doug Schmitty71. Always a pleasure to have you in there. John Diabolical 58. Thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be able to get our special guest for next week. Pat Paulson, as always, you're a great friend. We really appreciate you coming on. And anybody else that I missed in the chat, I really appreciate all the viewers tonight. This is so much fun. Jude and Hunter and Lindsay and I, we really enjoy doing this. This is all about having a good time, talking college football, and that's all that matters to us. I mean, we just really, really enjoy this. And once again, the team that scores the most points always wins the game.